So the first thing we're gonna do on the two bag pieces, there are dots, dot marks, and these are punch holes, and they're primarily used for placement, like how you're going to place like this. These ones will be where your pocket will go, and these ones up top will be where your Velcro or your snap will go. So what we need to do first is poke them out. So you can use a pin, a stick pin or something, and you're just stabbing the paper and making a hole wide enough. So if you use chalk or a pin, you can write through the hole and get to your fabric. So now there's a hole. So you'll do the bag lining and the bag exterior. And also make sure you do the dot marks at the bottom, these ones too. So first, we're going to cut out the self pieces. Self has more pieces. A lot of them are cut too. Now, when we line up the fabric, we want to look for this arrow, double arrow. Normally every pattern has it. It is the grain that you will place your pattern on. So if it's parallel to the selvage, which is edge of your fabric, if it's parallel to the selvage, it'll go straight up and down. And that means it's on grain. If your double arrows go across, that means it's cross grain. And cross grain offers a bit more of a stretch, not a lot because it's a woven, so it's only gonna go so much, but there's more stretch in cross grain than there is straight grain. So if you take your fabric, probably not this, but if you stretch it a little bit, you can see there's a little bit more than if I were to go this direction. And then the other direction is on the bias, which is the 45-degree. And this one has a lot more stretch. But bias is normally used for like anything flowy, dresses, gowns. So we have our patterns. And because we don't need that much across, you can just double fold it. And I think I got more than half a yard. So you just want to place it. You can follow the placements I did on the printout. And before I put pins in, I just lay everything out because it's like a puzzle. And I want to conserve as much fabric as possible. So if things can shift, I don't have to like retake the pins in and out. So I don't mind it going straight up. Yes, cut the square out. Yeah, so if you fold it in half, so if you fold it in half, you can get to it easier and just cut out that inside rectangle. Okay, so when you put pins in, you typically want to keep them not going up and down the pattern. Like you don't want to pin it like this. You typically want to pin them railroad style. And that just keeps, so if you do it like this, you can easily bunch up your I can't do it. You can bunch up your fabric and make like speed bumps, and it can just work some things. So you typically want to do it across. Make sure things are like, to make sure this line is parallel to the selvage, you can use a ruler. I have, it's not invisible, a see-through ruler, and it just makes it easier to line everything up. So I can easily see that this is 2 inches away. And if I move it up, it's not 2 inches, so I can just shift it over and just make sure everything lines up. And that's also a trick. Like if you have a lot of pieces, if you have one on the straight grain you can just use this as a guide going across. These little marks right there. So when you finish cutting out, you can use your paper scissors. And then you'll take your fabric scissors and then you'll just cut into the notch just a little bit so you can have that marked. So what I like about interfacing is there's no grain line on interfacing. So you can turn your pieces any which way to conserve fabric or conserve interfacing. But one side is definitely the wrong side and one side is definitely the right side. The wrong side is the side that will stick to the fabric. So when you feel it, that is the side that is bumpy. So the bumpy side is the side with the glue or the adhesive. That side should always be facing your fabric, because that's the side that's going to stick to the fabric. Because you're going to put your iron on top and you're going to melt the glue. So the bumpy side should be always touching your fabric. You're gonna put a pin on each side just to make sure things don't shift, okay? Just put one here, one here, one here, and one here. This is what you'll end up with. Slits have already been done, so mine's a little wonky, but each side has a pin, and that's just so everything stays in place. What you'll do is fold it in half. Mine is going to be hard because I have a thick fabric, but you'll take your scissors and cut into it. Try and make sure it stays flat. Go slow, take your time. And then now, if you can't get that close, this one isn't going to let me. That's fine, or I can even just, once the hole is there, you can snip in a little bit and just get any excess that needs to be cut. And after you do that, once you have your hole, only on the pieces that are in yourself, so your handle facing and your bag exterior, you're going to cut from this corner to this dot. Okay, try not to go past this dot. So you're going to do a diagonal cut from the corner to the dot. Try not to pass the dot.
Okay.